Okay, lovely ladies and gentlemen, I am just giving everybody a few more minutes, or a minute, and then we'll get started. Okay, so welcome to Heal Your Body from Inside Out. Now, I've done this masterclass a couple of times, and I've done it over 5 days. And I was guided to do it over 90 minutes. And I don't know what my guides were thinking, because there's so much information I wanted to include. And it was like, oh no, what do I exclude? So it's going to be an abridged version. If you want the full 5 days, then let me know. It's $111. And the information is really valuable and will help you heal. So I really want to encourage you to let you know that. If not, no harm, no foul. It's all good. The other thing is that if there are any questions, if you're joining me at some stage, then just put a Q beside your name so that, or beside the question, so that when I scroll back, then I can actually see the question as a question. And then there's things that I'm going to share with you that you may think you know, and you may tune out because you've heard it before. I really want you to encourage you to come into this masterclass with an open heart and an open mind, and be willing to hear what is being said in a new energy, in an energy of receiving, in an energy of allowing the information to be given to you and received by you. So it's, and if you find yourself saying, yeah, but, just pay attention. Write down when you say that phrase and what I said in order for you to say that phrase. And the reason why is because we're fighting for our limitations. And I'm here to inspire you, to motivate you, to shift your way of thinking, to help you understand what you're going through, why you might be going through it, and then also showing you that you can heal, and you can get better, and you can not be in the situation that you are now, and the reason why you signed up for this masterclass in the first place. So this is an opportunity for you to get some clarity. So this is my goal, is to get you clarity, to get you shifting in your thinking, to get you to see that you have more control and power over the situation than you actually think you do. And at the end of the day, and this is not an easy thing to hear, it is about you. It is something that you have to deal with because you're out of alignment. And that's all it means. And if you take it from that energy and that perception, it will make a huge difference. So I just want you to know this is for you and about you. I will take no offense whatsoever. If you have any questions, if you want to challenge me, if you want to say, yeah, I don't think so. If you want to leave everything behind and think I'm a load of crap, that's okay too. This is my knowing, my understanding, my learning, and my teachings, and something that I've experienced for myself and also for my clients. And it has worked. So this is why I'm sharing it with you. If you desire to work with me, you can private message me in Messenger or Instagram, wherever you're coming from, and we can book a call and see if we're a good fit. And if we are a good fit, what packages will work best for you. So there's a few offers, and at the end, I have an offer for you that's available for you if you choose. And if you don't choose, that's all good too. There will be a replay. The replay will be available only until Saturday at midnight Eastern Standard Time. The reason why is because most of us get too distracted and we put ourselves on the back burner. And so this is to help motivate you and kind of light a fire under your butt so that you're actually going to listen to the information and hopefully apply the information and then be able to help yourself get out of the situation that you're in. Okay. And a little bit about me before we get started. So if you're new to my world, welcome. If I've known you for a while, welcome back. And I appreciate and thank you for investing your time and energy into watching this masterclass, either live or on the replay. I've been in the wellness industry for over 30 years. I have two lovely daughters who are 21 and 23. And I grew up in Toronto and now live in the Caribbean island of Nevis for the past 19 years. And in December, it'll be 20. I'm a restorative health guide, Akashic Records consultant, and an empowerment activator. And I help mostly people with anxiety to get to the root cause so it can be healed and no longer have power and control over you without having to dive deep into the trauma that may have caused it, without spending several months or even years trying to heal it, and without spending tens of thousands of dollars, leaving you feel more like yourself again, happy and at peace. So that is my desire, that is my mission. And I hope that if the reason why you've joined is not necessarily targeted to anxiety, that's okay. It's also about your body and being out of alignment, period. It's about emotional holds that you are carrying in your body that have either come from a trauma previously or from an intense emotional experience or from your childhood or some experience somewhere along your journey that has left you feeling either emotionally unwell, mentally unwell, or physically unwell. And all the unwellness is just an indication that you are out of alignment with your soul self, with your body. And it's an opportunity for you to heal. This is what I believe 100% of my being. It's a knowing that I have, that I've had for a very long time, even before I did a lot of this work for myself and for my clients. So if you looked at that, what you're going through right now is as an opportunity to heal, how does that change your perception about what you're going through? I really want you to write that question down. And the other question is, if things are happening for me, then what is the reason that I'm needing this experience? Because a lot of us look at things when they're happening as happening to us. And when things are happening to us, then we are in victimhood. It means we have no control. It means we're out of our power. It means it's happening to us. So healing inside out is things are working for us. There's something that needs to be healed inside in order for our outside world to change. That is this most simplistic way to say it and to understand it. So look at your outside world now. What is going on around you that you don't want? And what's going around you that you do want to continue or to make sure that it gets better and bigger? But right now, we're probably going to stay focused on what you don't want. So if you're unhappy and depressed, anxious, overwhelmed, not satisfied, or any other low-level feelings, then this will be reflected in your outside world. Why? Because of the universal laws, especially the law of attraction, a law of manifestation. We attract and manifest. Oh my. Not sure what just happened there. I'm hoping that it was just a blip. Okay, I just started, so let me say it again. We're healing from the inside out. So what does your outside world look like? Are you happy with what's going on? Maybe there's a part of it that you're happy with, but a part that you're not happy with. What parts are you not happy with? And then ask yourself this question. What needs to be healed on the inside in order for it to change? What are your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your stories, your beliefs, your identity around that particular part of your life? And that's where you start. So you want to ask yourself again, hopefully, if I'm repeating myself, I apologize because I'm not sure why it cut off, but it's saying that it's recording now. So I just want to make sure you got it. If we are coming from a perspective of everything is happening for us, then this is an opportunity for you to heal. This is telling us that something's out of alignment, things aren't working in this area, and you need to focus and shift and change. And most of us, myself included, so there's no judgment or criticism around this, it's just information. So I came from a perspective of victimhood, that things are happening to me. And when things are happening to me, this is when I felt out of control, out of my power, out of my mind, really, because it was just like all this stuff is just coming at me and coming at me and coming at me. I'm like, what the heck? Like, why is this happening to me? When I made that perspective shift that things are happening for me, I asked better questions. What do I need to learn? What do I need to heal? What do I need to understand? Maybe what do I need to let go of? What do I need to forgive? What do I need to do? Then it's in my control. It's in my personal power to make a change, to shift my focus, to take care of myself, to love on myself, to make sure that I'm doing self-care, that I'm not people pleasing and I'm not putting everybody else ahead of me. So this is coming up. This is not my notes, so I'm going to go with it. Sometimes the divine comes through. So we want to make sure that we're actually paying attention and become aware of what we're thinking, what we're saying, what we're doing, how we're being, our thoughts, our emotions, our words that we're speaking, the beliefs that we have consciously and unconsciously, and then also who we see ourselves as. So identity is a new piece for me. And I was guided to add this as part of my energy releasing part of the process. And I have been tapping into it more and more for myself and trying to ask myself, trying to be a certain way to become a certain person. So my issue for a very long time and my opportunity for healing has come with money. And I needed to make a lot of money because my daughters were looking to become aspiring tennis players. And I was the main breadwinner, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to do it. And so this is part of my personal journey that started in my mid-40s, I believe. And I haven't stopped learning and growing and expanding in this area. And because of this money issue, personally, I have become a better person, more understanding, more clarity, more my outside world is definitely being matched by my inside world. So that's my what's the word? Credentials for teaching this information. Because I have made a lot of changes in my life, and a lot of them have been for the better. So when you're feeling unhappy, depressed, anxious, overwhelmed, not satisfied, or any of those low-level feelings, then this is going to be reflected on your outside world. Why? Because of the universal laws, especially law of attraction and law of manifestation. So we attract and manifest what we put out in the world through our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions, our stories and beliefs, and our identity. So there is an energy around all of those. There is a frequency and a vibration that is put out there into the world. My shirt is energy, my body is energy, this table is energy, the computer is energy. But also your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your identity, your beliefs, the stories that you tell, all have a frequency and an energy. So we don't really know that these things are happening, and these are new awarenesses possibly. So just be open to receiving and hearing that. So and I thought this was fun. This is Canada, which is my home country, and I now live in Nevis, and I didn't know I had two magnets that actually are from the places that I've lived in my lifetime. So like attracts like. They're like magnets. So if you are complaining about your anxiety, your illness, your condition, your disease, then you're going to attract things that are either going to make it true when it isn't, or it's going to attract more things to make you feel more anxious, overwhelmed, stressed out, fatigued, exhausted, whatever you're telling yourself and telling the world and putting out into the energetic field. I hope that makes sense. So if we put out negativity, we get back negativity. We put out positivity, we put out positivity. Now, here's a caveat. When you're in this space, in your anxiety, a lot of times you're too in your head about what's going on, and being positive doesn't feel real. So what I encourage my clients to do is put the phrase, I am willing to believe that I'm well. I'm willing to believe that I'm going to be well. I'm willing to believe that everything's going to be okay. I'm willing to believe that I'm okay. I'm willing to believe that I'm healthy. I'm willing to believe I'm anxiety free. If that feels too far-fetched, then keep that one out. I'm willing to believe that everything's okay when it comes to XYZ condition, illness, or disease. Whatever it is, whatever it looks like, you want to be willing. And this will calm the ego mind from calling out bullshit. And for those who are offended by that word, sorry. Sorry, not sorry. So we've got to work with our minds. And the ego mind likes comfort. And this is going to sound very weird, and it's true. So again, be open to this understanding. Comfort zone is what we are used to. So if you're used to being used and abused and made feel unworthy, not good enough, undeserving, then this is your biggest attraction then what are you going to attract? More things to make you feel like that. Because it's all energy. So it's also our comfort zone. It's what we are used to. So I was working with a client who grew up in, her mother was an alcoholic, her father worked a lot. So mom was the biggest influence. She had two younger sisters, and so she helped take care of the younger sisters. They were all, I think, like 3 under 5 or 6 years old. And mom was also verbally abusive, and I think there was some physical abuse as well. And she had a relationship with her partner at the time, but because of the abuse, and then she got into a marriage where the husband, it wasn't a healthy marriage. And then on top of it, even though they had 3 kids, he cheated on her. And so now this cheating translated onto the new partner. And the fear was so intense that he was cheating on her that it hit her in the gut. Like literally, she was almost passing out from the intensity of fear and worry and doubt and all the things. So he was doing some things that were leading to her feeling concerned. And so we had a conversation together, her and I talked her through how to help her talk to him to let him know where she was coming from. And it was a good test, because if he loved her like she thought he did, then he would hear what she had to say. But the point is that she was so used to the abuse. That was her comfort zone. So, of course, she's going to marry somebody that is abusive, verbally, mentally, emotionally, and then he cheated on her. So he's not reliable, and her mother was never reliable. And then she's got a new partner that isn't that, which is great, because that means she's done some healing and releasing and letting go of the past. But then the fear and the doubt was so strong within her because of the ego mind. I hope this is making sense. So we worked on releasing that and letting it go. And within, I think it was about 4 sessions, she was feeling calmer. She had released a lot of the past. She was able to trust her partner and work through what we had discussed and shared it with her partner. And now she's happy and thriving. So it can be for you as well. So there's never a permanency to what you're going through. And I believe that with 100% of my body. So we have to understand the law of manifestation, because some of you are saying that you've tried so many things and it didn't work. And so ask yourself why. What was the belief that you had when you were trying to implement? First of all, did you try to implement the things, the tools that you were given? If you did try to implement them, why do you think they didn't work? And it could be that ego mind. It could be because it was taking you out of the comfort zone and you needed to feel safe, which is what the ego mind's job is. And so therefore, it pulled you back into a situation, circumstance, or feeling of anxiety, overwhelm, stress, because it's what you're used to. So we can overcome these things. Becomes part of our identity, and this is what we need to shift out of. So I did an identity program about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and it was awesome. It really was. And so what I've come to understand is identity is a choice. So who do you see yourself as in this moment going through this experience that you don't want? Do you identify with the condition, illness, or disease, or with your anxiety, or with your overwhelm, or with your stress? Do you identify with it? Is it a part of you? And if it is, then you can let it go. And you can literally let it go. You can say, okay, I see that I'm identifying with it. I'm going to put it down. You want to pick it back up again, you're welcome to do that. Or you can see yourself as a healthy person, a person that's happy, a person that's thriving. And it's a choice. And this is really important. Most of us feel out of control right now, and that it's not a choice. And again, we're in the victimhood, and we're in that happening to you way of looking at things. And if everything's happening for us, then what's your new perspective? Put it down. See if it makes a difference. And every time something rises that tries to pull you back in, you can just literally say, nope, I'm gonna put you down. Keep putting it down. See yourself. So a lot of people, it's very interesting. The people that I've been speaking to, it does become part of your identity if you've had it for a while, especially the anxiety. And any condition or disease. I have one client, and she was grasping on to her identity as having fibromyalgia, even though the doctors told her she didn't have fibromyalgia. She was so convinced she had fibromyalgia. And okay, you have it. Now what? Do you want to keep it? Do you want it to stay as who you are and what you have? Or you want to put it down? That becomes a choice. And again, there's no judgment or criticism, it's awareness. So put on your awareness cap, your investigator, your cap of being open-minded. So manifestations, your desire plus your belief plus your action equals your manifestation. So let's break this down. Your anxiety, you want to be anxiety-free. That is your desire. And your belief is that it's usually not lining up, or you wouldn't still have it with you, that it won't happen for you. It's part of who I am. I'm going to have to live with this forever. I hate it. I don't want it, but I don't know how to get rid of it. I feel out of control. I feel like I just have to live with it. Like, what are you telling yourself? That is your belief. And because that's your belief, now you're going to take action from that space. And then that action will either close the gap or widen it. And most of us are widening the gap. And that's why when we're manifesting that which we do not want. I hope that's clear. So the belief, which becomes a wobble, has to change. How you see yourself, how you talk about things, what you're looking at, what you're feeling, what you're doing, all of that has to change. So it's in alignment with your desire, and then you get your manifestation of being anxiety free. Now, it sounds simplistic, and it's not. It's not easy, although it is simple. We complicate things way too much. And so I really want you to take a look at this and ask yourself, what is your belief around what you're experiencing? What is your belief around what you're experiencing? Now, we are all master manifestors, and we manifest the good, and we manifest the bad. It all starts and ends with us. It's coming from us. How we are responding to these things makes the difference. So this is a tough concept to swallow, and I understand that. It took me a minute or two to go, oh, I don't want that responsibility. I don't want to know that it's up to me. I don't want to have to be responsible for the fact that this is what's going on, and it's because of how I'm feeling or what I'm doing or what I'm thinking or what I'm identifying with or who I am being. And again, there's no judgment or criticism. It can change. So this is just an opportunity for us to heal that part of us. So there was a time where there was this woman who was a guest in one of our apartments, and she triggered me like no tomorrow, and I couldn't figure out why. And because I was going through this process and doing this work, I kept asking myself, like, why am I being triggered by her? Like, what's going on? And one of my friends that her and I have these kind of conversations, she says, well, aren't you working on feeling worthy? And it was like this light bulb moment. It's like, yes. And then I realized, because she was criticizing everything there was about the apartment, she was making me question my worthiness, because we make a lot of effort for the apartment. And for her to criticize and judge and make comments about this, that, and the other thing, I was just like, seriously, lady, like, what is going on? So sometimes we'll get tested a little bit. So these triggers are, and I'll talk a little bit more about it a little later, but triggers are, again, an opportunity for us to see a couple of things. Have we healed that part of us? What we still need to learn from that part, or if we have learned the lesson that we needed to learn, because if it's a repeated pattern, then we haven't learned it yet. And it's going to keep coming back until we do learn it. That is the God's honest truth. It's what repeated patterns are, period. So how do we change it? Again, we heal from the inside out. We heal those thoughts, those feelings, those beliefs, stories, identities that have to change and shift. And it's not always easy, but it can be done. I've done it for myself. My clients have done it as well. It's a practice. It's a habit that we form. It's never too late. You're never too young or too old. It doesn't matter your ethnicity. It doesn't matter about your religious background. It doesn't matter. Nothing is permanent unless you decide it is. I hate with a passion when doctors tell my clients that it's something that they have to live with. And I'm a massage therapist as well. And I've been in practice for, like I said, 30 years. And I cannot tell you how many times I have heard that from a client, and within 4 sessions, they are pain-free. So can you imagine if they took what the doctor said on? And so also the flip side of that, though, is why do we believe the doctors when they say that? But when the doctor tells you that you aren't having a heart attack, that the chest pain is because of your anxiety, that the worry and fear around another condition, illness, or disease isn't there, why can't we believe that is true? So why do we want to believe the negative, the worst, instead of looking for and believing and attaching to the truth, which is that you're okay and that you're not unwell? You just have to figure out how to control and manage your emotions. So do you find yourself saying it's not going to work for you? It happens for others, but it's not happened for me. I'm sick or unwell, and therefore I just have to live with it. Change is hard. I can't do it. I've had it ever, and it's just part of life. I just push through it. It won't happen for me, and I don't care enough to put in the work. So there's a quote: leaving your comfort zone is hard. Staying where you are is hard. Pick your hard. Leaving your comfort zone is hard. Healing, getting better, learning, understanding, growing, expanding, aligning to your wellness. That can be hard. And staying where you are is definitely hard. Which are you going to choose? Pick your hard. So we get to choose if we're okay with staying where we are or settling into that, or we get to choose leaving the comfort zones, healing, letting go of the past, and stepping into the truth of who we are meant to be. So we're all born babies, full of love, potential, connection to the universe, happy, healthy, with limitless potential. And along the way, there are layers and layers of crap put on us. Maybe you were told that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not deserving, or you were made to feel that way. And we have filtered that through the child mind that doesn't have the adult understanding. So it could be, there's a story that I read one time where this mother was really busy and she's in the kitchen and she's trying to get these things done, and her young daughter comes in and she's so excited because she picked these wildflowers for mom, and she gives her the wildflowers, and mom takes a look at them, and mom tosses them off to the side because she's busy and they're wildflowers, and so she doesn't value that. And that translated into the little girl is that what she gives her mother isn't of value or not good enough. So that's the filter of the child mind. Now, as an adult, if you had the same circumstance happen and you came in and you gave your mother, your sister, friend, your partner these same flowers, and they just put them to the side, what would the filter be? You might be upset and disappointed because they didn't value the fact that you took the time and you thought they were pretty. And it was the thought that counts. And you would probably vocalize it. But with a child, You didn't get the opportunity to vocalize it. So there's these understandings that we have to unravel. So what were some of the things that you were told or made to feel as you were growing up? We have to look at these things. Most of them are connected. So if there's a trauma that you've had in the past or an intense emotional experience that you've been through, then I really highly recommend looking it straight in the face. There was a young lady that I was speaking to about a month or so ago, and she's working with a therapist, and she was desperate to work with somebody. She called around because she was feeling suicidal. She finally got to work with somebody, and the counselor was a man, and nothing against men. It's just in this situation, it probably wasn't the best thing. But he kept encouraging her to journal. And in our conversation, she said, it's just the feelings are too big and too intense. We have to face the feelings, ladies and gentlemen. That's what's eating us alive. That's what's creating the anxiety, the overwhelm, the stress, the illness, the conditions, the diseases, is holding on to those emotions, burying them deep, not addressing them, not allowing them to surface. I probably cried over the last year more than I ever have. And I feel so much better after. I don't wallow in it. I don't allow it to take over. But it's not, because I've allowed them to come when it needed to come, then it's not as big as if I had bottled it up from the beginning. So this is the balloon analogy, which is I share a lot with my clients. You have a balloon and you have all these illnesses or the heavy emotions, stored emotions, maybe some PTSD from previous experiences, trauma, abuse, you name it, it's all in there. And then you blow up the balloon because now you've got another stressful situation, an intense emotional experience, and then you've got more of that building up and building up and building up. And then you blow up the balloon again because you have another crisis or you have another intense emotional experience, and then it's more built up in there. Now you have two choices at this point. You can let the valve out and you can allow the pressure to come out of you. Because I can't even begin to tell you, just on sales calls with clients, and if they've had a cry during our conversation, they feel so much better afterwards. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean anything. It's just it needs to be released in some way, shape, or form. And most of us allow it to get to this point, and then you blow up again because, of course, life happens and we're going to get something else that adds to it, and it's going to burst. And when it bursts, it looks like maybe you cut yourself, maybe you self-harm, maybe you're a pack rat or you collect a lot of things, maybe you're you have anxiety, overwhelm, and heightened stress. Maybe you have an illness, condition, or disease. These are ways that these things show up. And again, it's an opportunity for you to heal, to let go of the past, to be able to move forward and live the best life that you have and can have. It's all a choice. It's all a choice. So we have all these layers that are built up on top of us. And they get locked in at the cellular level within our physical, energetic, and cellular bodies. And then it breaks down something. Either the cell breaks down, which then breaks down another cell, which then breaks down another cell, which breaks down a system, and then the system doesn't work, and then that system doesn't work, which then reacts and causes another system not to work. And then we have all these physical symptoms. There's rarely a person that I speak with that has anxiety alone. Usually they have gut issues. They maybe struggle with sleeping is a big factor. Maybe they get to the point where they have chest pain. There's usually something on top of it. So here's how I look at things when it comes to your past and your future. One of the greatest gifts for yourself is to stay in the present moment. So we look only at the past to learn the lesson or to see if we've healed past trauma. We only look at the future to use it in our imagination, to make believe, to dream big, to look at the possibilities of an incredible life. It doesn't serve us otherwise. Daydream. Create an incredible life for yourself. See yourself as a person that doesn't have this experience that you're going through. That's the only reason why you look at the past and the future. Otherwise, you stay in the present moment. You get yourself nice and grounded. You do deep belly breaths and remind yourself that everything's going to be okay. And if that feels too far-fetched, you put that little adjunctive, I am willing to believe that everything's going to be okay. Because you are. And it is. Most of us haven't had anxiety for a lifetime. There has been a moment where you were happier, feeling healthier, feeling more alive, feeling better. So it doesn't have to stay permanent. We don't like it when we're going through these things. Just like a common cold. We don't like it. We think like our nose is never going to stop running. We don't understand where it's coming from. It's just dripping, 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 blowing our noses, sneezing, all the things. And it eventually gets better. So if someone or something triggers you and it's showing you what you need to heal and unravel your beliefs. So if there's anything I've said in the last little bit that has felt triggering, then I really encourage you on the replay to watch it again and listen and write down what I said that made you triggered. And then ask yourself why. We've got to ask ourselves better questions. Not why do I have it? Although if you're going to do it in an investigative way in order you to figure out the root cause of what's going on, that's not a bad question. But most of us it's the why me. Why you? Because you need to heal that part of you. This is part of your journey. We all have something. I promise you, you are not alone. My client has been talking to some men at his work, and he works in a warehouse, so it's mostly men. And because he's been starting to share about his anxiety and talking about his lack of sleep, he's now realizing his lack of sleep is nothing to be concerned about because everybody gets it. Everybody has it. Everybody has some anxious moments or overthinking. I mean, there's hormonally, as women who are past menopause, it's pretty common for us not to be able to sleep through the night. And it's rare. I'd say 1 or 2 nights, not even a month, maybe every other month that I get to sleep through the night. And it's not because I'm necessarily overthinking. I have to get up and go to the bathroom. And sometimes then I overthink when I go back to bed. Not all the time, but sometimes. And sometimes it's around the moon cycles. So the new moon and the full moon can have a factor as well. So if for some reason there's a lot of things I need to release around the new moon, then I am up more often than I'm not. But I don't make it mean anything. You don't want to put any emotion or meaning behind these things. It just is what it is. It doesn't have to mean anything. So if someone is triggering you and showing you that you need to heal and unravel your beliefs. So how do we do that? So we want to question your belief. So what do I believe in this moment when someone's saying something to me? So if someone came up to me today and said, "You're an awful person," I would look at them and say, "Okay, that's your opinion. But if they said it to you, would that be your response?" If they said it to me probably about 7 or 8 years ago, I would say I would be upset about that. It would make me think and make me worry and make me question, and I would go in my head, why would that person say that? What have I done to them? And blah, blah, blah. Make it whole thing. Now that doesn't happen. So you question, you have the belief. Then you ask yourself, is it true? Is it really true that your anxiety is going to last forever? Is it really true that your illness, condition, and disease means that you are going to be in pain for the rest of your life? Is it really true that it's even in your awareness? Is it true that you're going to blah, 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 whatever that is? So question it. Is it true? Because I'm going to tell you right now that most of our beliefs are not true. And when I found that out, I'm like, what do you mean? Of course it's true. It's my belief. Why would it not be true? It's a belief. It's a habit of thought. So if you're told or made to feel unworthy, undeserving, not good enough, those are the 3 main ones as a child before the age of 7, then there is a belief that you're unworthy, undeserving, not good enough. And there will be circumstances and situations and people that will show up in your life that will make you feel that way, because that's what you're projecting subconsciously. And until you heal that, it will continue. I hope this is making sense. So once you question it, you ask yourself, whose voice is it? I was hearing a lot of my mother and some of my father and even some of my brothers. So whose voice is it? And then if it's someone else's voice, you know it's not your belief. And then you want to reframe it. So what is the truth? So if they said, you're ugly. Okay, that's your opinion. So what is the truth for me? Truth is I'm pretty. I'm attractive. I feel good. I think I look good. That's what my belief is, or my new belief is. So the new reframe should be something positive. And then again, if you're not fully able to get there and there's a bullshit meter in your ego mind saying not true, then it's I'm willing to believe. ... So you want to be aware of yourself, paying attention to everything. Your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, your identity, your story. If you catch yourself saying, oh, well, my anxiety is this and that, because of this and because of that, because of this, and because of that, well, okay, that doesn't mean it's true. Is it really true? One of the biggest things I've seen lately, especially amongst women, is it's my hormones, and it's because I'm either perimenopause or I'm menopausal. And I don't have anxiety, and I'm past menopause. I didn't have it while I was going through it, and I certainly didn't have it in perimenopause. So is it really true? Hormones are going to be a factor, but is it because you're telling yourself that it's because of the perimenopause and menopause that is now your story that you have around it? Therefore, it's true, and you're keeping it in your awareness. We should question everything. So pay attention to your reactions, your responses. Ask yourself why I'm being like this, or doing that, or saying that. This is the benefit of working with a coach, because they are tuned to hear that indiscrepancy. So I had a conversation yesterday with a young lady on a call, and she said one thing, which I know it wasn't true. And then 5 minutes later, she said what I know was true for her. And she totally contradicted herself. And I tried to show her, and she dug in. And then I explained it a couple different ways. And then she was like, oh, I see that now. Okay, I know what you're saying. So we got us here. What we thought, what we're thinking, what we're doing, what we're believing, what we're creating the story around, what we're actually believing, what our identity is, got us here today. And nothing's going to change if nothing changes. And sometimes that means looking for outside help and looking for an outside perspective. And for somebody to actually go, no, that's not what you said. Maybe there's a better way. And it requires sometimes time, energy, and money. And it's a choice. Are you going to continue to suffer and go through what you're going through? Or are you going to allow yourself to invest in yourself? This is the mind-blowing thing. I had somebody I was having a conversation with, and he said, I will do whatever it takes. And then when it came down to money, it didn't matter. Why are we willing to do whatever it takes to make sure our cars run? but we're not doing whatever it takes to make ourselves healthy and to keep our health or to get our health back. It's about priorities. And we have to shift that thinking. There's too many of us out there right now that are unwell. And it's an opportunity for us to heal. Full stop. So we can change our lives. We can change who we're being. We can change what is our outside world to match our inside world in a positive way. We are meant to be abundant. We are meant to be happy. We're meant to be healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. We choose to be here on this journey called life, to learn, to grow, to evolve, and we're never done. Can be layers. There are things that I thought I had healed, and I healed parts of it, and then it comes up again. And then I heal parts of it, and then it comes up again. But it's got a different response and reaction to it. And because I'm aware of it, I can heal it faster and move on faster. We can complain about the journey, and that will only bring more about that experience that we don't want. Or we can claim what we want, close the gap. So you're aligning with your higher self that only want the best for ourselves and come from a place of love. So I'm going to do a quick guided meditation, and then we're going to do a quick break, and then we will come back. So hand on your heart. You're going to change your breathing. You're going to inhale for 4 from your belly. You're going to feel the belly. You can put your hand on your belly as well, because most people don't do this right. Feel your hand expand out away from your body. Your ribs expand, your upper chest expand, and you're going to hold for 4. And then you're going to exhale for 4, and you're going to pause for 4. So you're going to inhale for 4 from the belly, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and pause for 4. And keep doing that. And with your hand on your heart, you're going to breathe your next deep breath into the heart, surrounding the heart, expanding the heart, loving the heart. Feeling the love. Feeling the life force energy that's coming through breath. And setting the intention of releasing and letting go of what no longer serves you as you exhale. Inhale love and light. Hold for 4. Let go of what no longer serves you. Inhale love and light. Hold. Exhale what no longer serves you. And pause for 4. Now you can do this before you go to bed at night. You can do this as you feel like your thoughts are going out of control, getting out of your head and getting into your heart space. Keep doing this breathing until you feel the mind quiet. And if an intrusive thought comes, you can just have a door. Just shut it. And keep breathing. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. And now as you feel this love, light energy coming into your heart, I want you to see and feel or just sense it going through your entire body from the head down to your fingertips, to the toes and the legs, circulating through your entire body. Taking a nice couple of deep breaths. Mm. Mm. Now I'm going to get you to see this love light energy expanding outside of you, expanding into the room, expanding into the house or apartment, wherever you're living, where you are right now. Expanding into your town or your city, into the state. Expanding into the entire earth. Expanding up into the cosmos. Just feel this love going out into this universe. Taking a nice deep breath. And bring this love light energy back from the cosmos to the earth, from the earth to the state or province or country. From the country to the city or town. To your neighborhood. To your dwelling. To the room or place that you're in. Back into the heart. When you're ready, bring your awareness back to your body. And we'll take a bit of a break. You have 10 minutes. Go to the bathroom, grab some water. Do what you need to do. Okay, we're back. So the other piece to this is not to put emotion around your experience. Not make it mean anything. So I had a client who was, we were working together doing some energy work because she was anxious, but her big thing was she felt like she was going to be annihilated. And she decided that it was time at 73 years old that she was going to try to live well and feel good about life. And so through her experience, we were healing a lot of her past because she'd been emotionally, physically, mentally abused as a child. And she was made to feel responsible for her siblings, and she just had a lot of stuff gone. So we were healing a lot of that. So in the meantime, she discovered she had a lump in her breast. And so the doctor determined, they did a biopsy and they determined that it was actually malignant. So they were going to remove it. So they removed it. And the whole time, our entire work, besides removing all the energies and the feelings that she was experiencing, was to not make it mean anything. It just is what it is. It doesn't mean you have to die. It doesn't mean you have to have a bad experience. It doesn't have to mean that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have, or this is going to be what's going through, whatever goes through your head when you have that kind of diagnosis. We got her in a very neutral space, to the point where the doctor actually complimented her on how well she was taking everything. They went in, they took all the tissue out, things went really well. And afterwards, we continued to work with the other parts that were still needing to heal. And she said to me later on that it was like a blip in her experience. It just has to be a blip in your experience. Doesn't have to mean anything. We don't have to dwell on it. We don't have to suffer. We don't have to struggle so much. And we really worked on focusing and shifting into gratitude and what was working. What was working in your body right now? You can breathe. Your heart's working. Your lungs are working. Your eyesight, your voice, smell, taste, touch, feel, walk, talk, use your hands. Like, what is working for you right now? Shift your focus from what's not working, which is your anxiety, overwhelm, your heightened stress, illness, condition, and disease, and what is working. What's working in your life? I'm sure there's a lot of good things that are going on in your life right now, more than what you're looking at, because you're so focused right now on not feeling good. And one of the biggest ways you can do that and shift out of it is gratitude and appreciation. So I recommend my clients to do gratitudes at night before they go to bed, which helps rewire the mind. And then in the morning, so it starts your day off right, on a positive footing. And in my darkest days, I did this and it shifted things very quickly for me. We want to shift our focus away from what's not working. Not so easy sometimes, because it's very evident and what's going on in your life is not working. And doesn't mean we have to keep it in our awareness. So let me give you some food for thought. So according to a study by Lloyd and Johnson and the Heart Math Institute, they had done a DNA test, and they placed the DNA in a test tube, had participants hold the tube in their hands, instructed the individual to think painful thoughts, recall destructive memories. And after they did this, they took the DNA out of the test tube, examined it, and it had been damaged. They put that same DNA back in the test tube, had the individual think positive thoughts and pull up good memories, took the DNA, examined it, only to find the DNA healed. And that's with the power of thought. This is why we need to control our thoughts, what we're thinking, and shift our focus away from what's not working into the downward spiral and into what is working, into the positive spiral. And gratitude and appreciation. So here we realize that not only does energy alter the DNA in the test tube from the hands, but also our thoughts and feelings, because remember, they are energy as well. Our ability to heal and thrive is based on the electrical signals that enable every cell in your body to think, communicate, and communicate with every other cell. Everyone's health is based on unimpeded flow of energy in your body. Illness is due to the blockage or imbalances of the flow of energy. Fear is the energy that contracts, restricts, and closes down. And everything is from fear. Your anxiety has an underlying fear. Appreciation is the energy that expands and opens up. So we're able to connect with the invisible energies that are filled with information and intelligence all around us. We are transmitters and receivers of electrons that are interacting and reacting all the time. So though the body appears to be solid, it is a field of energy. This field expands outward from your visible body, known as the auric field. And life experiences can congest or deplete in the auric field. And by allowing the energy to flow freely, self-healing mechanisms are activated. Your body is built to support health, harmony, and connection between all parts. So why do we get sick? Develop conditions, illnesses, or diseases that won't easily go away. If our bodies are meant to support vitality, healing, then why doesn't it happen right away? So the chemicals are running our bodies and our brain are the same chemicals that are involved in emotion. And we better pay attention more to the emotion with respect to the health. Under the influence of massive amounts of contraction or stress, tightness, getting all worried, anxious, overwhelmed, then our cells begin to function inefficiently. And if you're an empath, you have a tendency to be hypersensitive to others' emotions, especially negative ones, and then we need to be extra vigilant. Emotional charge causes the resulting from the accumulation of the negative energy cells blocking the receptor sites of your cells from receiving the message to upkeep basic functions. They can no longer perform the routine tasks of producing proteins that carry the basic tasks of keeping the body in a perfect state of health. It isn't that disease and imbalance is created by ourselves, but rather the absence of balance. Disease and imbalance is created and experienced. So this is why self-love is so important, taking care of yourself. So I had a lump in my breast when the girls were young. We were going over to our sister island for the weekend, and I was getting a mammogram. I was in my 40s at the time, and the ultrasound doctor did not like what he saw at all. So he sent me to a surgeon. Surgeon didn't like what he saw and felt. So they decided that they were going to take out the lump. And my inner knowing told me that I needed to focus on me. So I slept better, I ate better, I drank a lot of water, I reduced my stress levels as much as I could. I increased my happiness and my joy and surrounded myself with my little girls and just felt better. And I also focus on my body internally. So I have a method that I help share with my clients. And when I went in for the surgery and afterwards, it was, there was no cancer, thankfully. And the doctor, the surgeon, and the ultrasound doctor were completely shocked I went for like 2 or 3 follow-up exams after that. And the ultrasound doctor, every time he saw my chart, he's like, Miss Hull, I don't understand how you didn't have anything, because the blood vessels look like this and that and the other thing. I took care of me. I realigned me. I made sure I was taking care of me. I was loving on me. And that put me back into alignment to the point where my cells were not cancerous. I believe that with all of my being, because I've had some other scares along the way, but they were more with pap smears. And I did the same thing with those. And every time the doctor is just like, I don't know. It didn't look like it was going to be okay, but clearly it is. This is a good thing. Our bodies can heal itself. And most of us don't know how, or they don't trust that we can, or there's something that's not quite right, so that we have this off experience. So start talking to your body. Ask your body in the area that is defined as sick or unwell what your body is telling you. Communicate with yourself. Stop blaming anyone or anything. Trust your heart, trust your intuition. Your body will give you the correct answers as long as you ask the correct question. Begin to stand in your truth and don't worry what other people think. Only care about what you feel, and you can heal yourself. So one of my clients had not been able to walk without double crutches, the ones that attach to the arm, for 10 years. She was in a wheelchair for the first couple of years, and then she eventually got stronger to be able to be walking, but assisted always. And she was abused as a child, mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually. And she had, in her 20s, she had mercury poisoning from an IUD that was left in her body for too long. And she held so much anger, it was amazing. Not in a good way, but it was what was happening. And so we had processed and let go a lot of different things that she was feeling and experiencing. And there was this one session where we really focused. I was being drawn to focus on her legs a lot, and the anger and the hate and the bitterness that she was feeling towards her legs, towards the doctors, and towards the abuse. And again, all justified, and it wasn't helping her. So we released a lot of that. And within a couple of sessions after that, she was able to walk down the road to and from the pharmacy without any assistance from her husband, from the crutches, nothing. We are more powerful than we realize. And that is the God's honest truth. So I encourage you to really tap into your body, your intuition, your instincts. So if you came into this experience specifically because of your interaction with me to do with your anxiety, then I have an offer for you. I really want you to empower your mind and sign up for the anxiety-free mastermind experience. So if you're really ready to experience true freedom from your anxiety, join this mastermind. Discover the transformative power of my custom method, the Muse method. Here are 5 compelling reasons to sign up today. You can achieve inner harmony. So with the Muse method, you'll learn to balance your mind and your body, cultivating a deep sense of calm, picturing yourself moving through life with ease and unburdened Then you're going to harness your energy healing. The program integrates energy healing techniques that help release emotional blockages, visualize the relief of letting go of what no longer serves you, and steps into a vibrant, anxiety-free life. So this will be a discussion that will be going on through the month, as well as we'll have one call a month, and we'll do the energy healing, clearing or releasing, depends on what's needed and required by the group. Is my intention to transform your life. So it's going to give you skills, it's going to give you tools, it's going to give you more information, a deeper understanding of what's going on so that you can release it and let it go. And then the ripple effect is going to be huge because now you're affecting your relationship with your partner and your children and your parents and your siblings. You're going to experience lasting change. My desire is never to keep you forever. If you desire to stay with me forever, that's one thing. But my desire is for you to heal and move on. So the mastermind employs strategies that empower you to reprogram the negative thought patterns, feel the freedom that comes with breaking old habits, overthinking, and embracing a positive outlook. And you're investing in a lasting change. So this is not just a program, it's a commitment to your health and happiness. Consider the immense value of living a life free of anxiety. What would you pay for that? Where can you thrive and pursue your passions at the end? So what is a mastermind? A mastermind is a group of like-minded individuals, who come together to support and elevate each other towards achieving personal and professional goals. It's more than just a support group. It's a space where collective wisdom is shared, actionable strategies are developed, and in a mastermind, you're not only surrounded by people who understand what you're going through, but you also gain access to new perspectives, tools, and techniques that can help you move forward. Don't let anxiety control your life. Empower your mind and embrace the healing journey with us. Sign up for the anxiety-free mastermind today by saying yes. Yes to you, yes to your health, yes to the rest of your life. Or DM me, and your brighter anxiety-free future awaits. Join the monthly mastermind called Anxiety Free, and you receive your need to heal and release the fears so you tap into your inner guidance to activate your empowered higher self. So for the month of August, it's $333. If you join today, it's for the first 5 people. You get one-to-one healing session, which is a $300 value, 90-minute session. So say I'm in or DM me, and we'll start probably my desire. What?
Oh, you gotta move it right away.
My desire is for you to start on August the 19th. And if you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah,